Okay. Anybody else want some? Didn't think so. So recently I've been getting back into Insurgency Sandstorm, and honestly this is still one of my favorite shooters that's come out recently because of the great balance between being a milsim and actually being a video game, and between having about 50 hours in the past 2 weeks playing mostly in between PvE and PvP. There's a lot that has changed since the last time I actually kept up with the game. Having about 250 hours in the game now. I did about 200 when the game first came out and when competitive was still alive, but after competitive died out, my attention to the game kind of dwindled and I didn't pick it up for a long time until recently. There's been a lot of changes and a lot of good things to come, especially going into 2021 with a small quality of life release of 1.8.1 and then a new operation with 1.9. So let's go ahead and talk about how things seem right now and what things are to come going into 2021, starting with the new small release update of 1.8.1. And with this update you will see mostly bug fixes and some other quality of life updates. For instance, the ability to bind individual grenades instead of using one button for all of them. They will be adding night maps to the admin GUI when you're in custom servers. So it used to be before, when you went to change levels, it was only the daytime scenarios, so now that will be added in to have the nighttime scenarios. They're also doing a quality of life for friendlies on objectives. Right now everybody's just a nice little arrow on your tactical map, but they're going to be changing it to when your teammate is on an objective, their icon should change, so you should know how many people you actually have on an objective and if you need to push or sit back and let things happen. There's also going to be a change to the auto balance, mostly just quality of life and not much information on this, but they will not be splitting up parties. They just don't want to hinder people playing with their friends. There will be no changes on zero waves, so once there is zero waves, you'll get a notification that auto balance will no longer be in effect, and you will now actually get a notification when you are auto balanced to the other team instead of just randomly spawning onto the other team and wondering what the hell just happened. That's pretty much all they gave on the changes to auto balance, and they said that there'd be more to come when they actually put out the release. Only other thing that they mentioned was that the backpack fix is coming. I'm not sure what the backpack bug is, but they said it is coming and should be sometime soon. And before we get into 1.9, which is going to be the new Operation Coldblood, there's just some other stuff that was mentioned in the VOD that was kind of said in passing, just some other information of things that will be coming. As of this video, there is no console release date yet, so they've said once they do get something, they figure something out, they will let people know. They are not going to keep people in the dark about the console release. The AI overhaul has begun, quote unquote, but still is a work in progress. They said there's a lot of work going into it. Don't expect it anytime soon, but there is an AI overhaul happening. They're aware of the objective HUD bug that is still being looked into. Hank said that they would be working on bugs and polish moving forward more so than content, which does actually make sense due to the state of the world, COVID, and being work from home. I'm sure there's a very limited amount of things that they can actually do from home, so focusing on quality, polish, bug fixes does seem to be the best way to go in the current working environment. Hank also mentioned polish on all guns all around, but that was in passing on a comment that was on the Twitch stream, so no news on that, but he did say it, and I do think that's kind of important. And now on to update 1.9, which will be the new Operation Coldblood. It is set to release on December 8th, right before the end of the year. They didn't end up giving much information on what's going to come with Operation Coldblood besides this picture, but as we can see, it looks like we're going to get maybe a possibility of a new snow map and snow cosmetics. Looks like that there may be a possible gas mask customization, or that could just be a cosmetic. It does look like this insurgent or security has an M1A in hand with possibly a new scope as well. They did also make mention of the sniper glint in the right-hand side. He did say that that was not sniper glint. He made it very important to say that was not a sniper glint. So my only other thought, if it's not sniper glint, is that it could possibly be a tactical flashlight of some sort. It also looks like that we may get some new backpack cosmetics as well, as it looks like she has more of a sling going on there as well. And the only other glaring piece of information is the map in the background. They didn't say if this was going to be a new map or anything. We're just assuming that it is going to be a new map, but we did get confirmation that it is not going to be Citadel. If you'd like to get more information on Update 1.9 and Operation Coldblood, they will be having their VOD this week on November 12th at 2 p.m. Mountain Time. So that's it for what is going to be coming up with the new Quality of Life update and the new Operation Coldblood that will be coming out on December 8th. But let's talk about how Sandstorm is right now at this moment. Now, the last time I played, they did not have DirectX 12 support, and they did not have mod support either. Now, depending on who you ask, DirectX 12 will either lower your performance or make it better. For me, I'm running a 2070 Super, and I did see about a 10 to 15 FPS increase when I did finally switch over to DirectX 12. So you will have to do some testing on your machine and your rig to see if that's actually going to be something that will work for you. And mods are now actually gaining momentum, with one of the biggest mods right now being the ISMC mod. Now, the ISMC mod is very big and has about 7 guns, 2 pistols, and a couple new perks, and a weaponsmith system. However, this can only be used in PvE right now because it is only set up for the security side. However, I did some poking around and talked in their Discord and figured out that they are hoping to bring that over to a PvP system as well, instead of just the checkpoint security that they have set up right now. But one of the bigger things to mention on the ISMC mod, besides just all of the guns, the cosmetics, the new scopes, the new foregrips, handguards, pistol grips, and all that great stuff that they've added in, is they added a new feature which is called laser point shooting. And what laser point shooting is essentially like Modern Warfare on their night maps, where you'll just simply canted your gun to the side, and then with your laser you'll be able to fight in close quarters. So this also helps with people wanting variable scopes, because where this isn't a variable scope, you now have the option to be able to fight close quarters with a scope on your gun, but then once you step out of close quarters, you can then flip back to your actual scope and have, something from a 3 to 7x scope, so you can fight those long distances. So a kind of fixed variable scope without actually putting in any variable scopes. I could honestly make an entire video over the ISMC mod just on its own, so I do highly encourage you to go check out the mod, mod.io, and just search up ISMC, and you will be able to find their mod and all the things that come with it. And with the ISMC mod, there's also been many maps that have been updated to the community mods as well. On the top of the charts right now, we do have a map called Toro. That is a really big and beautiful map that really goes hand in hand with the Sandstorm theme. There's also Pelusia, Highlands, Mountain Pass, Glass Dome, and something in German that I cannot pronounce, Panzerschlacht. And these maps are really great, and they're not in the vanilla rotation right now, but they're really great maps. They look good, they feel good to play, and it's just more content into this game that is made by the modding community and not made by the devs themselves, which lets them focus on other things such as these quality of life and bug issues. But on the subject of community servers, if you've gone in to Insurgency Sandstorm lately and looked at their community servers, you can tell that a majority of the community servers are all going to be running PvE instances. I was pretty shocked to actually see that everybody was wanting to play modded community PvE servers instead of PvP. And the more I looked into it, the more I found that there was a big divide of players who would rather play PvE instead of PvP. Now, I like them both. I really like playing PvE when I just want to, chill out for a while, not have that competitive feel, and, just bring down terrorists, waves and waves of attackers and all sorts of different stuff, while also using, normally on an ISMC modded server, and I can use those additional guns. I do really like having PvP, and there's just no one playing PvP on the community servers. I don't know if continued modding support will help this, or if it will just continue to fuel the PvE thought behind everything, but that's just something that really bums me out. I was really hoping to see, modded servers for PvP, and that people wanted, something different than the vanilla servers, but it seems like the PvP players only want to stay on official servers, quick match and all of that, and the PvE people would much rather play on a community server. But these PvP people also want additional content, but to get that additional content, you need to be on a community server to get all of these maps and these mods that we've talked about. So, where it's not there right now, with continued momentum from mods and maybe new updates from NWI, maybe eventually we can start seeing PvP servers start popping up, because all I've wanted this entire time is just a 5v5 competitive mode without actually playing competitive, but that's a whole different thing on its own. But even, a modded push server I would really like to get in on, or a modded frontline server with hardcore, or, slower movement or something like that. But it just doesn't seem like people actually want to play that right now. So besides the community servers only wanting to be PvE, that's really my only biggest complaint about the game right now. Everything else has worked perfectly. My performance has gone up. I'm able to find people in matches now. Firefight can be a little thin every now and again, but you can pretty much always expect somebody to be on push. When going into community servers, if you want to do the PvE experience, you can always find something, and nowadays they're running community maps, and they are also normally running the ISMC mod as well to get you the extra guns that you want to play around with. Honestly, the game seems like it's in the best spot it could possibly be right now. The devs coming out with update 1.8.1 and the new Operation Coldblood, and them just saying that they're going to primarily focus on polish and bug fixes, then it can just fall on the community to make that additional content. And it looks like that additional content is finally coming out, and people are finally starting to take notice that these new maps and these new guns are actually out there. So with the new content update and the mods finally coming into fruition, I really do think that the next year for this game is going to be a good one. So this is my first informational video. If you'd like more Insurgency Sandstorm updates, let me know in the comments below. And if you'd like to see more Insurgency gameplay, make sure to go ahead and follow me on Twitch. I am there Monday through Friday from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Oh! I don't know if I killed him or not. But holy crap.